Welcome to Maelstrom Protocol. This is the ranked game mode of Rainbow Six Siege Extraction. There are 9 objectives, each objective having a different mutation or, things that change about the map and the enemies. I believe this Maelstrom Protocol was Police Station, which is in the New York section of the game. 9 objectives, each objective having a bit more XP to give. But the entire thing is about doing one walkthrough, getting as much XP as you can, clearing as many nests, killing as many enemies, doing your objectives, but also getting out. Each map, each section, or each subzone has less resources than the next. It's very, very, very difficult. I was Jaeger. My teammates were Lion and Rook. There's not much in-game speaking. That's why I'm doing this post-commentary. I believe I was using the MP7 here because I only had Jaeger at level 4. So it was a bad call, honestly, to use my level 4 rather than trying to use someone higher. But I personally thought Jaeger was the best call for the run. I believed that, he was what I needed. The mutation for this one was Caustic Sprawl, which means that the Sprawl does damage to you. I did not realize that when I was doing this actual run. I don't think I actually wasn't paying attention to what the entitled screens was. I was very amped up on just trying to do my best, that I didn't even pay attention that about the unstable mutations. It literally wasn't until I was having damage done that I was just confused and shocked, and I was like, oh, the Sprawl does damage. Like, look, I walked right into it, stealth walk, taking my time, lollygagging, just confused. It literally wasn't until I started looking at the Sprawl that I was like, oh, yeah, I should probably clear that out the way. Like, oh man, that was so foolish. These guys, I think it's Chloe and, C-Boys, and it's Suzu basically carried me through my first one. Because I was so confused. I was literally, not understanding what the heck was going on. I was literally just kind of running around like a chicken with my head cut off. Obviously didn't last long. They ended up carrying me because I died. But it was just, I was so confused and just amped up, basically, because I had watched the Ubisoft creator tournament where they ran the Maelstrom Protocol and they gave away 40,000. So I thought, this is such a cool game mode, such a interesting way to do ranked, because it's about getting collective XP, clearing the most nest, keeping the most health, killing the most enemies, doing the most objectives. It's a very interesting concept, something that you wouldn't normally think of when you think of a ranked. Today, the 26th, is the last day for this first one, and it is a weekly ranked, which is very different. Most people are used to 3 or 4 months worth of ranked, but in this game it's weekly. It's literally every 7 days. You're in a different subzone, different objectives, different handful of operators, which is very, very interesting concept. I very much am appreciative for that, because I thought this game would get stale if it was, the objective. If I have the same 9 objectives for 30 days, 20 days, or whatever, it's gonna get boring in this game, because it's a PvE. So I'm very happy it's weekly. So it's literally every week I can check in. If I miss a week, I don't get that. So everyone I ran into pretty much wanted to hit diamond. I won't tell you what I hit because I don't want to spoil it, but it was all in all a crazy experience, even for the short time that I was playing. Like as you see, I'm creeping around because I realized, bro, I'm about to die. I'm running low on health. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm literally just confused. My teammates are far away from me. I literally had no idea what I was doing. I was closing doors behind me because I was afraid someone was going to sneak up on me. I literally, if you want to just put noob as a sticker on someone's forehead, I deserved it in this game. I absolutely deserved it because I had no idea what was going on. I'm seeing enemies scanned, and I'm just like, let me just get whatever low XP I can. So I took down these nests right here, and then panic attack because I realized, oh crap, a smasher's coming. Now, the smarter person in me probably should have hopped out the window. The dumber person in me decided to try to go for this takedown. And dead. Remembers I have a revive kit. Stand up, throws grenade, dead. Yeah. Should have just hopped out that window now that I'm looking back. I am doing this in post commentary because I didn't really talk to my teammates. I have always gotten a mixed bag with the way that these things go. There's going to be a lot of jump cuts since, the rest of this is literally just my teammates' gameplay. Look at that. Successful way to kill a smasher. Definitely should have brought stuns. Definitely should have brought stuns or something else just because the fragmentation grenades was just not the way to kill a smasher there. But yeah, the rest of this is pretty much, I'm not going to say it's jump cuts, but it's a good amount of well done editing to turn 30 minutes of gameplay into 18. I tried to get as much of the experience together as possible, but I did want to also show off the objectives and show off the different ways things go. Now that I'm actually once again looking it back over, I shaved off a couple minutes after realizing I said that, I got 30 minutes down to 18. I realized I could shave a couple seconds off here and there, and I turned 18 into 14. Just kind of, trying to get it as concise as possible. Just raw gameplay, and I'm not gonna lie, I really did spam that tab. I did spam the main menu a couple times just to figure out, just to see if it showed enemies. I didn't understand whether or not it showed enemies, and it didn't, obviously. But like the noob I am, I kept spamming it, trying to see if anybody took any health kits, if anything, because it does show you the resources in the bottom corner. So I was just kind of kept spamming it over and over again. Again, this was the first time I had noticed it in the entire time of playing this game. I hadn't noticed that it actually tells you how much of every resource is on the map. So I kept spamming it over and over again as they were kind of going through, just trying to figure out the differences and how much of what was what and how much of what was where. If it started popping up on the mini map to show you where it exactly goes. This was the decontamination, which is where you eradicate the green nest. Now the problem with that is if you do not set it up and you don't kill the red nests that are also on the map, you end up spamming, and you do shoot one of the green nests, it wakes up basically every nest on the map. So now you're fighting a literal horde of enemies, wave after wave, until you literally shoot all 15 of the green nests. It literally becomes absolutely insane. The strategy that I have found since this run is that if you literally wipe out the enemies and the red nests that are around the map first, you can pretty much wipe these out with ease, especially if you're taking in like impact grenades or fragmentation grenades. You can kind of just throw them in, wipe out all the waves at once, kind of get it done. But obviously me not being alive and them probably, I believe this might have been their first run as well, because it seems like they were just as eager to get through this as I was. They were in a bit of a rush, kind of just, but they handled it well. They didn't seem to overly extend themselves. They both have very good health by the end of this. And then after you kill off the waves, you do get the sample from the. Basically, it's an armor nest, but it's an armor nest that opens up once you kill all the other nests. It's very nice. But armored nest is the actual mutation for this one. Armored nest is actually tricky because it's not like the armored nest, so the nest can't be taken down. They can be taken down, they just can't be shot at, which makes it tricky because now you do have to go to every nest to take it down if you want to limit the amount of enemies you're going to run into. Either that or you have to be ultra stealthy, which is, again, not difficult. It's not, I'm not going to say that it's ultra hard, but it's not as easy as it sounds. Especially on a map like this where you're running into tormentors. Tormentors are the large stilted fellows that they keep running into. They literally can turn into the sprawl and move through it. Very, very tricky. But they're not to be confused with the sludge. Sludge is literally just a puddle, a glowing red puddle that can only really be immediately killed by shotgun shells and explosives. Again, and there are so many different types of enemies. The lurkers there can actually turn invisible if you do not, if you make them aware of your presence. They can literally turn themselves invisible. Very, very difficult, very annoying. But they just finished that objective. They're running low on health. I believe they've literally gotten into multiple fights back to back to back. He's shooting a standard animal. Look at that. And just like that, the tormentor literally pulls up out of nowhere. The other teammate gets knocked down. He's running into multiple tormentors now. The nests are awake. He's literally panicking because that's really what they do. Once you wake up a tormentor, he basically activates everything around him. They don't call him a tormentor for nothing. It's hard to escape him. He's gonna pop up everywhere. He's literally the Jack in the Box of death because he's literally just gonna be wherever you don't want him to be. Behind you, in front of you, he's shooting flaming fireballs like he just has the Shoryuken on, or not the Shoryuken. He has the Hadouken on freaking maximum. It's insane. He's literally just attacking. I believe it's Suzu makes it out of here. Doesn't end up saving the teammate. The teammate obviously died and got KO'd in the hallway. But he's more worried about trying to get himself out rather than all of us losing a character. I didn't lose my character because they ended up picking me up in the round where I died and putting me in the extraction pod. But I believe C-Boys loses his character here. His character goes MIA. But he can go get him later. New York is one of the easier. It's like literally the first section. And it's so nice that it's Suzu actually apologized. And that's not something you actually see. So that's why I actually really do like this game. Because it seems like even though the community isn't very talkative right now, and maybe just because I'm not really into the Discord very heavy, since a lot of people seem to be playing this on PC, but the community seems very well. Look at how the XP stacks up, and I'm happy that they actually gave me XP for even, staying in the match. So I do appreciate it. This is such a good game, and I do have a couple more runs of Maelstrom Protocol. I'm probably going to do a couple today and just see how high I can hit before today's protocol is over and they start the new one up for the next week.